Would you be able to imagine a world that we can't trust in our oceans? Or that even going to the beach represents a danger for us? According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, beach pollution is any harmful substance that contaminates our coasts, ranging from plastic, trash, and litter to sewage, pesticides, and oil. Excess amounts of natural substances, such as nitrogen and phosphorus, from fertilizers and animal waste, are also pollutants. When it comes to the range of impacts that beach pollution covers, there are too many consequences thanks to the negative contributions we make every day. Marine and coastal species, including fish, seabirds, and turtles, can be harmed by polluted beaches. These creatures may become hurt or even die if they accidentally ingest plastic waste or become entangled in it. Furthermore, pollution may alter their natural habits and food sources, which may have an impact in their health and ability to survive. The degradation of the seabirds' beds, harm to the coral reefs, and the changes in water quality are just a few negative effects that beach pollution may have on the marine ecosystem. Oxygen levels may drop as a result of the pollution, making it more difficult for aquatic species to live. In addition, the presence of dangerous toxins, chemicals, and other contaminants can also endanger marine life. In addition, the presence of dangerous toxins, chemicals, and other contaminants can also endanger marine life. Economics can also be affected by beach pollution. Thanks to coastal areas that depend on tourism and pleasure, beach contamination can have serious economic repercussions. Tourists are less likely to visit beaches that are contaminated, which cause local companies and communities to lose money. We can all agree that beach pollution is a serious environmental issue that must be solved right away in order to safeguard the well-being of our marine and coastal ecosystems. But how do we do that? Good morning, everyone. Now that we talked a little about beach pollution, I've decided to come to Sunset Beach. According to Google, it's one of the most contaminated beaches here in Vancouver. I thought we can find out. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I brought it back with me, and I will collect every piece of trash that I found and do a comparison. We'll see how much we can help in this specific location. I thought it was gonna be a sunny day. So far, it started raining. I hope it doesn't rain that much. I hope you can see the rain from here. I'm not sure if the camera is capable of capturing the rain right now, but I guess we'll have to move on. Okay, so first item that we can find here, it's this piece of trash. It seems like rubber. Now that we talk about rubber, these would take like 100 years to decompose, which honestly, guys, it's pretty crazy. So I don't know, I'm not sure if you can see it from the camera, but sand looks a little dirty. Now you might say the actual reason for that, it's because, well, the sand has shells and other natural pieces that makes it look that way. However, if we take a closer look into the ground, we can find these pieces of trash that are clearly not natural elements. Now, just by looking at this, I would say this is like a piece of, I don't know, maybe a napkin. Now, those type of wet napkins or wet wipes take about more than 100 years to decompose, even if they are biodegradable, which it's not that biodegradable if you ask me. I found this plastic here. This is about between 100 and 1,000 years, according to some research, depending on the plastic. We can also find more plastics in here. I believe this is like a piece of rubber or plastic or between of those. I don't know. If you guys can recognize it, I have no idea what this is. I'm just pretty sure that it's not nature. Here's another one, but this time it's red. Here we have like a pod container for a vape or something. What is this? This seems to be paper or plastic paper maybe. Let's see what does it says. Well, there you go. It's a Belmont Select. Oh, and don't think that I just threw the pod container. Of course, I'm gonna put it in my big bag. Glass. We could also find glass in here. This is probably from a bottle. I don't think someone just brought their glass into the beach and somehow broke it by accident. Which, if that would be the case, come on. Wouldn't you clean it? I have to be very careful with these pieces of glass. Since we don't want our bag to break, the glass takes over 40 centuries to decompose. That's pretty crazy. Imagine if this glass would just hide in the sand. That would be there for over 40 centuries. A little brush. I have no idea what this is, but I'm a little concerned about this. So I'm just gonna put it in the bag. We just find another wipe. Oh, there's another one. That's a big one. The thing about wipes is, since they are made out of certain plastics, they're not totally paper, you know? That makes it harder to decompose. Oh man. Wow, this is a lot. I should have brought gloves. Damn. We can also find plastic. Little plastic container, something, I don't know. Hello, somebody there. Just next to the wipes. Who would have thought? A total cliche about beach pollution. A bottle of Moku Moku. I can see a lot of wipes here. I don't know what does people like about wipes, but lots of them. Just gonna pick it up real quick, put it in the bag, and here's another one. Oh no, that's not. Emotional damage. Latex takes 30 years to decompose. There's your fact. A cigarette. This takes about 10 years to decompose. I mean, if you make the numbers, 3.2 million people in Canada smoke. Well, if one of those cigarettes end up in the sand or anywhere else, that would be about 10 years per cigarette. That would be 3.2 million cigarettes in the streets, in the sand, in the grass. That will take 10 years to decompose. A little information about how smoking can impact the environment. We have another cigarette here. You know what's the funny thing about cigarettes here in the sand? It's pretty hard to spot them. If it wasn't because I'm specifically looking for trash in the beach, I wouldn't be able to see it. This is clearly plastic. It's another 100 years. But this, oh man, I want to talk about this. That was styrofoam, and it takes about 100 to 1,000 years to decompose. Now, if the styrofoam or basically any kind of trash was under the ground, under the sand, that time can be prolongated, which is pretty dangerous.
We have a lighter. We had cigarettes, we needed to have a lighter, right? This lighter takes like 100 years to decompose. If you hear that I say 100 years, about 100 years, I'm not kidding. Okay, I actually do my research. Pretty much everything gets 100 years. I can't imagine how many 100 years we'll have to wait until those are totally decomposed. And I can find more trash while talking. Trash, 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 trash. More trash, trash, more trash. Trash. Double trash. Big piece of trash. Well, we've made it to the rocky parts of Sunset Beach, which means our cleaning task today has ended. Now, there are some things I want to talk about. I am surprised about the amount of micro trash that I found in the beach. It's incredible. I'm not sure if I was able to clean the whole beach only by walking through it once. I would definitely do it again. Now, something pretty cool I want to talk about, guys, is about the night beach sweeping. There's people that come in the night to clean the beach, which is pretty cool. I've personally seen that once in UBC. I've never seen that here in English Bay or Sunset Beach, but if it exists, well, that's probably why I couldn't find big pieces of trash. However, small pieces of trash still being a problem, and if every time that people come in the nights to do the beach sweeping, they leave this little piece of trash, there's probably gonna be more trash over time, right?
So now we are with a very good friend of mine that has been working into the beach pollution problem back in Cancun by volunteering in some projects. Right now, she is starting a new project actually with young people like us to clean the beaches in Cancun. Her name is Sandra Zorita.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Sebastian. I'm very excited to make more consciousness on this very terrible issue that happens to our beaches.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. And well, let's talk about it. The first question that I wanted to ask you is what made you realize that the beaches of Cancun needed to be cleaned?
Well, it's so evident. You can't step into a beach and not see trash everywhere. It's not something that you don't see. So we obviously know that it is a very present problem, but not many people are willing to take action even with their own trash. So that's why we have to volunteer and work on this. But really, it's not difficult to see litter on the beach, which is very sad, but also not impossible to solve.
Of course. And what would you consider is the biggest challenge when it comes to start this project?
Well, starting the project is hard when you need to get more people on board with you because we're all aware that it is a matter that affects us all and the well-being of our natural spaces. And yet not many people want to give a couple hours of their time. So I think the hardest part is getting people on board with the project, not even just convincing them because they know that the idea is very good and it would benefit everyone. But furthermore, no, further than that, they find it hard to volunteer. So we really want to, sign more people each beach clean so that we have more hands on deck.
Of course. And I think that with young people, new generations might help with this issue, might generate this new consciousness about beach pollution.
Of course, and it's an ever-growing problem, but if we are aware that it only takes you cleaning up your trash, then you can be not littering that much more.
Of course. How much impact do you think beach pollution affects tourism in Cancun?
Well, I think it affects greatly because tourism is the very first stream of income that the state of Quintana Roo has, which is the state that Cancun is in. So if people who are coming here to enjoy their days on the beach see that it is very polluted with pieces of trash, and that the beaches and the spaces are not clean and enjoyable, they won't want to come back. You don't want to be laying next to a few cans that might be, you know, even hazardous, or a bag of chips that is half eaten. It's not a trip that would be memorable for any good and positive ways. So obviously, cleaning the beaches is a project that will make our destination even more attractive.
Of course. Since how I previously told you about new generations being aware about this problem, do you really think that younger generations would be more interested in this project by generating awareness of this, through this kind of projects?
I certainly do. I think that not only younger generations, but older generations might as well, except for the fact that they might not have as much time, which is why we appreciate when older generations are interested, for example, in sponsoring. They're the ones that give a lot of materials for the beach cleans. Trash trash bags and gloves are not free, so we really appreciate that participation as well. But younger people are the ones that are more interested in actually going to the beach and picking up trash. So I think that everyone is building this consciousness and awareness, but certainly younger people are the ones that are more active in actually going to the place, taking a trash bag, putting on a rubber glove so that they don't get any infectious whatever,
Mhm.
and picking up the trash. So, in to answer your question, yes, I think that younger generations are more interested, and every day we're exposed to new information, so
Mhm.
more people are interested.
Yeah, I really like that relation you made with older and younger generations. I agree with you. I think that sponsor can really help, while younger generations, sorry, can actually take action about the issue with the help of the older people here.
Right, and not to say that we don't get older volunteers, older quote unquote. We do, but the majority are Gen X, millennials. But
Mhm.
but what I mean by that, sorry, I got lost.
No worries.
Go on.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, I want to talk about a little bit about the sustainability about this project. Well, not this project, but many projects regarding ocean pollution and beach pollution. This is not a question at all, but during this course, I realized that it's not only about what we do to solve those problems or what we can offer, but also make sure that that actual project is also sustainable. Well, in many occasions we think, oh, maybe we can clean this or do that, but it's also thinking about, is the action that you're doing also sustainable, right?
Right. And you don't want it to be detrimental, I think that it's important not only to let people know that we are doing these beach cleanups, let's call them, but also that we can solve this problem by not littering. If you take your snacks to the beach, take the trash back with you and separate it accordingly to recycle. If it's not recyclable, the section that you recycle in also has a bin for that. But you don't want to be the person that leaves trash for other people to pick up. Just pick up your own trash. If you can pick up some other more pieces that are not dangerous for you to take, like, I don't know, syringes or open cans of soda. Those might be a bit more dangerous, but just take your own trash and we won't have to do beach cleanups. They will always be clean. We just want more people to have that idea in mind, not the I can throw this on the sand because someone else will come pick it up. Like, no, that's not the mentality that we want to have.
Of course. And also, I wanted to tell you about here in Vancouver, there are these projects, well, not projects, but I would say it as jobs that people actually go into the beach during nights and clean that trash. By doing my own cleanup, I discovered that there's too many little pieces that normally we wouldn't see either on night or day. So every time people go clean the beach, it's not really, really clean. Anyways, I'm going to move on with the last question, if you don't mind.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Ever saw the consequences of beach pollution towards marine life up front?
Fortunately, I have not. It is a very sad event. I have seen seagulls with trash on their feet, but never to an extent that it might attempt against their life, which is actually pretty like great not to have seen a bird or a turtle or a fish die because they ate trash, but it is very common. And not because I have not seen it yet in my own experiences means that it doesn't happen. It happens every day and it's very sad and we could prevent it. It's not something that would happen if we just picked up our trash, basically.
Of course.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And well, everything that I'm making right now for this documentary is related to beach pollution, but also I make emphasis on how beach pollution and ocean pollution are related. Some of the trash that go into the ocean end up in the beach, and also trash that end up in the beach, sorry, gets into the ocean, and that's when the marine life gets really affected. Plus, if we mention the oils and every chemical fluid that contaminate these oceans, well, we make it pretty worse.
Yeah, and I think that many people here know that and still don't care.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that the earth is designed with a system that is a cycle. So everything that goes around comes around. And if we let the marine life get affected, eventually it will come back to us, right? Like fish and algae and all the ecosystems. If they're being affected, we're going to be affected sooner than we think.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. But before we go, I would like to ask you a really general question. What's your experience with the cleaning program? Not the project that you're doing, but also the volunteers you have.
Well, everyone's there because they want to be there. No one's making you wake up on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning very early to go clean up a beach. You do it because you want it, right? So everyone's there has a positive attitude. Since we are young people, we can joke around and have fun. I usually bring my own speaker, to play music while we clean up. It's not very big, so only a couple people around can hear it, but still we have that sort of, just like vibe going on, for lack of a better word. So I've had a positive experience. I would encourage and urge anyone watching this to try it once. I can assure you, you'll have a good time. You'll feel good that you're doing a positive impact, making a positive impact on our planet, and possibly make new friends. I've made countless new friends, and honestly, it's a great way to socialize.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And well, muchas gracias.
Dale.
This documentary made me question human beings, myself included. The images I've recorded, researched, and thought about only made me feel as if I was being part of a massive act of hypocrisy and cynicism by being completely aware of the harm that we are doing to nature. Whether it's beaches, oceans, or forests, we're totally fine about it. Before I go, I would like to leave you guys with a quote. Sooner or later, we will have to recognize that Earth has the right to live without pollution. What mankind must know is that human beings cannot live without Mother Earth, but she can live without us. Evo Morales.